You got us live with this cover thing. See?
Stop talking.
See? This is why right here I have to beat you from side to side. Hit the door, baby.
We about to die.
Gosh.
We're live, honey. No, what the heck? What the heck? Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. How you doing? Lisa's shenanigans is what that was. Luckily, we got the adult in the room.
Yeah, whatever.
Luckily, here I is to save the day.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you. Today is the
Happy
8th of February. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed your Super Bowl. Hope you enjoyed joining us here for the African American the power of African Americans in history. Not workshop, symposium that we did this past Saturday. I just hope you had a great weekend.
Friday night. Oh my goodness, ladies who joined me on Friday night, it was awesome.
Yes,
it was
had a
really, really fun
Friday night event with her ladies. And Saturday morning, Lisa and I together got a chance to be interviewed.
You're going to cover the whole weekend in 3 seconds or less? Is that
what I like to introduce what I want to introduce and then talk about it later? Boy.
Thanks for joining us
this morning. Die for less. So how was you? How was your weekend? I hope you had a great weekend. Good morning, Miss Melissa Price. It's always nice to see when Melissa Price is in the house. Good morning to you. Absolutely. Hope you had a great weekend. Did you enjoy your Super Bowl? What do you think about the weekend's halftime performance?
They may have known who the heck the weekend was.
It's been so interesting seeing the comments people made about that halftime show.
Hey, Dr. Deborah.
Because some people only go to the halftime show or they're just for the halftime show.
Well, yeah, because there was not a lot of not many of the people that we knew had a player had a team in the Super Bowl.
Right. My team was in the Super Bowl, but I wanted Tampa Bay to win, and they did.
With Tom Brady in it.
I was Tom Brady, and plus, here's another reason why. The assistant coaches for Tampa, they're all black. Okay. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams coordinator. No one has
as black a leadership as them.
Yes, they're very much
black and they're black, y'all.
Yes. So Dr. Deborah rocked on Saturday afternoon. She was a great opening speaker. The perfect opening speaker for us.
Absolutely. Now, Melissa says the weekend was so busy for me. He was busy. Lord have mercy. I did watch the game. I'm a big Brady fan, so I was happy with the turnout. I personally enjoyed the halftime show, but I caught a lot of comments from others who didn't enjoy it. I didn't understand it.
Melissa Price, what did those people have on their heads when he was in the Hall of Lights down in there?
Right. Were they wearing bandages from surgery gone wrong? Were they wearing jock straps on their faces? Did they have super masks that we don't know anything about? Have they been advised by the CDC to cover your forehead and your mouth? Like, I don't understand what it was. It was too daggone much. Hey, Brittany Ziegler, good morning to you. Oh, no, I have naked earlobes.
Me too.
I gotta find some random earrings on my desk.
Likely there will be some.
So, hey, Cynthia Murray, I haven't seen you.
Murray.
All right, so I'm gonna wear 2 different earrings.
Shocking.
Well.
Anyway, I never wear earrings, so we don't have to worry about that. But we had a good weekend, I would say.
I'll wear this one.
I would say the History of African Americans Symposium was wonderful. We had great hosts, and the speakers were all really good, I think.
Okay. So Melissa said they were supposed to represent us all masked, but it looked like everyone was wearing jock straps on their face.
Cynthia said looked like jock straps on.
To me, yeah, it looked like jock straps. It looked like foolishness to me. Kelly, hey, good morning, Kelly Little. Thanks for
Isn't Kelly going to
joining.
rock this upcoming weekend?
Not this upcoming weekend. This is for spoken word and poetry. He's going to be for children's books, which is on the 20th. Y'all are working me, but that's all right because I love to use my platform to help advance other spoken other people's voices. Melissa's actually going to be on the panel for March. I'm excited about that.
Miss Trinae Prosser stopped through here. She's a stand-up comedian, amongst other things.
Hey, Trinae.
Where's my usher?
That's right. Well, speaking of which, I told you that Jawan Cap is going to be organizing our comedy cuts on Friday, right?
I know we were talking about it. I know it finalized.
Yeah, it's been finalized. He's working on it because they're actually going to submit us 4-minute segments. That way we don't have to deal with the technology shenanigans. So that's coming up soon. If you know of a comedian that would like to be featured on a 4-minute segment here on the Let's Talk About It with the Empowerment Duo, have them send an email to admin@epublishu. That's admin at the letter E, publish, PUBLISHYOU, and we will get your segment coordinated into the show. Melissa says, Nate and I had a ton of fun laughing at some of the ridiculous masks people were wearing. There were definitely some conversation pieces displayed.
Yes. On the sidelines of the games as well.
Sidelines, I saw so many chin strap masks. I was like, why are y'all even bothering? They're doing the mask right here. I'm like, really?
They're playing the game. So I wouldn't even bother anymore. I mean, they're in the bubble. I mean, they're in the arena and all that. They had 7,500 vaccinated staff people working that game inside the arena. All 7,500 of them had been vaccinated, and they clean. I think the NFL did a good job with that.
Wow. Dr. Deborah says, I enjoyed being a part of that great event on Saturday. It was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it.
So just in case there's one or two people here that don't know what we're talking about, that great event on Saturday. This past Saturday at 4 p.m., we hosted the Power of African Americans in History virtual symposium. And we had great speakers. Lisa had an idea, which means we had to do something, you know what I mean? But we had great speakers. Dr. Deborah Dunstan was our opening speaker, and she talked about the power of African Americans in history and healings. Healings was her topic.
We brought so much of the we actually African Americans were such a cornerstone of healing, especially natural healing.
Mm-hmm.
It was really great.
Sister Denise Wiggins, how you doing? So her talk was great. Honestly, she was like, the opening speaker and the closing speaker are really, really important to an event. And if you have a break in between, then the one right before the break and the one right after the break, they're really, really important too. So that was a responsibility Dr. Deborah had for us. She had to kick it off.
Absolutely.
She had to set the table. So she had to be good.
Absolutely. And actually our MCs, shout out to Catrice and Davion. Right. Mm-hmm. They were phenomenal. They held it down. Mm-hmm. Another husband and wife team. We're going to be doing some more stuff with them as well. And I'm excited about that.
So they did a good job. They were, I think they did a great job because you know what? They actually allowed themselves to enjoy the event and to enjoy the presenters. They allowed themselves to have fun with it. So I thought they did a great job with that.
That was good. That was really, really good. I did enjoy that.
After Dr. Deborah spoke,
Dr. Barbara Peacock.
She knocked it out the park. She talked about
spirituality.
African
Americans and spirituality.
And she was armed.
Yeah. So everybody's books. Get Free, Stay Free with Dr. Deborah. That's Dr. Deborah's book. And then Dr. Peacock is Soul Care and African American Spirituality. Mm-hmm. And she actually read from her book as well. We had a series of amazing presenters, including it's not time. At 9:10, we are now going to do our Black History Nugget for the day. Okay. So we'll let Brian pick that. Either you can choose today in African American history, or you can pick music or whatever.
That's fine. I got it.
On Friday night, we played a game.
We'll finish before we get to that, okay? And then after Dr. Barbara Peacock spoke, Sister Donna Reed spoke.
Yes, helps.
History and helps. And then after helps, we had our young man, Mr. Michael Carson.
Yeah.
He talked.
Let's talk a little bit about helps.
Okay, let's go.
So helps is something that often goes under noted. Civil rights is a form of helps. Seeing a societal issue and doing something about it is a form of helps. Many of our nonprofits actually identify issues that were evident in the community and went about bringing forth a solution. Think about the Black Panther with WIC, Women, Infants, and Children. Think about the NAACP. Think about now Home for You and these organizations who are now who have become integrated in providing support solutions and services into the community. They all started from somebody having a desire to help. Then on after the helps was Michael Carson, which was inventions. Necessity is the mother of invention. Brian is actually looking up. What are you looking up? An invention, or are you looking up today?
I'm looking up Today in African American History, another one of his books, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. But I'm gonna lift up one, okay? And the one I'm gonna lift up is a name that some of you guys are gonna recognize right away, but some of you won't. But his name is Clarence Big House Gaines. He don't put his nickname in here, but that was his nickname. Clarence Big House Gaines. And he coached basketball. He coached college basketball at the HBCU, Winston-Salem State University, for 47 years. For 47 years. Now, the reason why I'm lifting up Clarence Big House Gaines, he was the first African-American inducted to the College Basketball Hall of Fame. The first one. He coached for 47 years, the first one to go in the Hall of Fame. But he not only was an amazing coach, he mentored and coached so many future professionals. But in his city, in Winston-Salem, Wake Forest, Winston-Salem State University in Wake Forest or something Winston-Salem. In his city, he was a pillar of his city. Big House Gaines, everyone in the city went to him, and he advised and he helped. He always rolled up his sleeves. He's very, very powerful. There's so many people that speak laudatory about Clarence Big House Gaines. So today, that's your moment in African American history.
Absolutely. And for those of you, there's going to be a question of the day. The winner of the question of the day will receive a free audio link to one of the books of Michael Carson. So we're going to come up with the question of the day. You be listening, and you can win an audio book from Mr. Michael Carson.
Now, after Michael Carson spoke, Brother Brian McNeill spoke. And from what I heard, I brought it.
Powerful talk on communication. I don't think that people understand how important it is to be able to stand on and communicate a thought, particularly for the purpose of arming others with information and then motivating them into action.
Yes.
That is a leadership quality that often is it's going to be evident, it's going to be necessary, but it's often under I'm trying to think of the word. No, I don't think it's undervalued. It's under promoted. It's under promoted. People who are looking to move up in their jobs, people who are looking to increase their bottom line in business, learning how to communicate and speak is going to be a critical component of that task.
It is the critical component. The ability to communicate is one of the most important skills that you're going to develop in your life. But our leaders have always been the speakers and the writers.
Absolutely.
The ones who write about it and the ones who talk about it. That's it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then following Brian was none other than one of our financial mentors, Evan
ERGJ Enterprises Jefferson. He talked about money.
He talked about how we can leverage it, what we can do to learn more about it, how we can grow together, because the more money that we have, the more opportunity to make changes in our own community.
That's what your money does, gives you options.
Yes, money is options.
And then after Evan, Lisa preached us out. Lisa gave a sermon at the end. Yep.
My talk was on collaboration, and you can't take the preacher out of the preacher. So collaboration is really the impetus behind everything that I do. I realize that there are some people that are further ahead of me, and there are also some people that are coming behind me. And that if we collaborate together, we can shortcut the distance it is from beginning to end, and everybody can achieve their greatness a lot more quickly. And Kelly says,
Where Kelly, and she was great. The speakers were great, and Lisa closed it in tongues. I was ready to pass collection plate.
Amen.
Collection
Amen.
plates
I
were
know
blessed.
that's right. Melissa says, Donnelly Reed, absolutely.
Good
She was
morning, Dr. Beverly.
phenomenal.
How you doing?
Good morning.
I hope
Good
you had a
morning.
great weekend as well. There were a lot of great things going on. Let me tell you something. The Super Bowl is the most watched event of the year every year. Okay, like of the top 10 most watched events, like 8 of them will be Super Bowls. 7 or 8 of them will be Super Bowls. Okay, I mean, because people watch the Super Bowl, even people who don't like sports still attend that game. Okay, and the NFL has done an amazing job marketing it. But last night we had Tom Brady, who that was his 10th Super Bowl that he appeared in. Now,
and he's a grown up.
He's a grown.
He ain't 40, no young buck.
He's 43, playing pro football. 43 years old
with the children.
But yeah, that's a young man's game.
Yeah.
He's 43, and he won his 7th Super Bowl. Now, the teams that have won the most Super Bowls are Pittsburgh. They've won 6. And New England has won 6. By the way, Tom Brady was the quarterback for all 6 of New England's Super Bowls. Okay, and Tom Brady left New England, went to Tampa Bay, who had been the worst franchise in NFL history statistically. And in his first year there, took them to the Super Bowl and won it. Okay, so now Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowl wins, more than any other team in the league. One guy.
He can fill up almost 2 hands, a hand and a half with rings.
Yes.
A hand and a half with rings. That picture's going to be pretty.
He could, yeah.
They got to do that picture.
He's got to do one?
He's got to do that picture. With 7 rings, or whether he puts them, if he puts them on fingers and not thumbs, whoa, that means you only got 1 finger left to put a ring on. Come on now.
Do it again next year.
You could do it again next year. I think,
it's a testament.
That's it, though.
What?
Like next year, that's it.
You got to stop after next year. He's talking like he played at 45, is what he said.
I might give him the 45 because he's Tom Brady, but I'm just saying, Grandpa gonna be out there.
But he's so good.
He's good.
His skills don't
he's
good.
No, he's good. He is good, and he doesn't look 43 out there.
No,
he doesn't look 43 in the face. He doesn't look 43 in the voice. He doesn't look 43 athletically. Well, he's holding it down
today. Athletes can invest in the very best nutrition and scientific ways of keeping in shape. For example, LeBron James spends more than $1 million a year on his body.
Why not? That's his tool.
Yes.
That's his instrument.
$1 million. And he has been in the league. He's 36, and he's been in the league for 18 years, and he's still the best player in the world.
I'm just saying. Melissa said 7th Super Bowl win. Whoop! Go Tom Brady.
Yes.
And he's a Michigan boy. You know, Melissa's a Michigan girl.
And he is a Michigan boy.
Michigan.
An interesting thing about him, he was the 199th player drafted.
Wow.
He was drafted in the 6th round. That means every team had plenty of chances to get him. There were 6 quarterbacks picked in front of him. Okay. 6 of them picked ahead of him. Okay.
Yeah. But now what I want to know was, what did you eat on Super Bowl Sunday?
Okay, let's go there.
What is your food? Because it's supposed to. Well, you know what? There wasn't food and the commercials. The food. Let's go with the food. Usually the Super Bowl commercials will knock it out of the park.
I saw a couple that I thought were pretty good. I thought the Alexa commercial with Michael B. Jordan was funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. It was sort of objectifying the man. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about objectifying Mr. Michael B. Jordan.
Alexa, have you ever seen Alexa look so good? Alexa, read me my book. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, but like I said, I think he is. I think that was funny, and I think he is handsome. But he's too young for me to have as like my dream swoon. Anyway, I have my dream swoon.
You do have your dream swoon.
But when I look at Michael B.
Lisa got
Jordan,
something this weekend, y'all.
when I look at Michael B. Jordan, I see kids my son's age, and I just can't swoon over.
He's probably older than your son, baby.
Not by much. I think he's 30. Brandon is 25 this year. So yeah, no. Melissa said, I love the commercials. I love the one for Dr. Squatch.
Oh, I'm tired of Dr. Squatch.
What's Dr. Squatch?
The soap. Yeah. This is my man's soap. This is my soap. We get rid of all of those and blah, blah, blah. They run it all over YouTube. Whoever Dr. Squatch is, they got a huge marketing budget.
They put the money in the budget.
Spending every
because it's soap. Like
yeah, spending their money. Okay. But Melissa like the Dr. Squatch. What other commercials you liked? That was another one we liked.
I liked Michael B. Jordan. I don't know that I looked up. You didn't make any sounds for anything else, so I didn't really look up that much.
Oh, yeah, Lisa did set up her laptop next to me. She wasn't really watching the game.
I wasn't really. I'm not a football connoisseur, but I am a connoisseur of a football lover.
Yes, I do love it.
And so I don't want to be spending 6 hours away from my husband. So sometimes I just have to get creative. So I got my earbuds, and I got my tablet, and I got my computer. And so I'm working.
I wanted Tampa to win, so I was enjoying it. I even took my old football out of the closet to have it in my hands to watch the game, holding a football as if I'm playing almost.
Now, did you talk to the boys last night? You usually
texted my sons back and forth.
Yeah.
Yes, I surely did.
So Melissa said I like the Will Ferrell ones as well.
Yes.
I like Will Ferrell.
Yep. Norway. It was about electric cars, how Norway has more electric cars than us. Yep.
Absolutely. So that was cool. Interesting. The Verizon one with Samuel L. Jackson.
When they ended up on the hill, and do you really want to make jokes with Samuel Jackson? Well, I got me a smart thing in my hand. Those kinds of commercials. Yeah, that was cool too.
Melissa said the one that got me busting out laughing was Drake from State Farm. Yes, that one, I did see that one. It was funny when Jake said
body doubles.
Doubles don't have lines.
That's right.
Body doubles don't have lines.
Imagine, what do they pay Drake to get him to play a body double
for Jake?
For State
Jake is the star. And who made him put a heart in his hairline?
That was his heart part or something.
Oh, I don't like it.
But Drake looked big to me, like he
bigged up.
Yeah, he been pumping iron, you know.
Really? I don't know.
Drake looked like he hit the gym.
Drake looks like. I like the new Jake, but how did they just sunset the original Jake?
It's been at least a year.
I know, but I mean, you just changed them out. You changed them from a 40-year-old white guy to a 30-year-old black guy, and nobody mentions it. We just, it's Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, that's right.
Jake.
They got to explain that to y'all. It's Jake from State Farm.
Cynthia loved it too, and Melissa said the hard part.
Yes,
the hard part.
Yep.
Jake from
State
Farm.
It's an event, you know. It's been marketed and promoted as an event.
They did a good job, I think, of not making it so obviously pared down. Like it didn't look like the stadium was empty.
Right.
So they did a great job with that.
How about that before it started? How about the duet between the country singer and who was the Jasmine Sullivan?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And they sang America the Beautiful together.
Not America the Beautiful. The Star Spangled Banner.
No, they didn't sing the Star Spangled Banner together.
Yes.
No, they didn't.
And the Rocket. Yes. Somebody sang.
No.
The other lady did
that,
America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful, gracious skies where amber waves of gray. That's what the country guitar player and Jasmine Sullivan did a duet on.
Yes.
And then after that.
Before that.
No, after that. Okay, is when they did the national anthem. Yeah, Star Spangled Banner. I know this to be true.
Honey, there was somebody else that sang the girl with the guitar. The girl with the guitar sang America the Beautiful.
No. The girl with the guitar sang the national anthem, and she even did a
Yes, you're right. She did.
Rendition of it.
She did. But I love the combination of Eric Church and
Eric Church. Thank you.
Jasmine Sullivan, because it did two things.
And Her is the performer that did the next. Her.
Yes. So I thought Eric Church and Jasmine Sullivan was a great way to sort of show the unity of the nation with representing country, representing I don't know what Sullivan represents other than black, but I don't consider her R&B. But does she fall under that category?
I think she is R&B. Yes, definitely.
With the windows out the car?
I bust the windows out your car.
Does that make her R&B?
I went downtown and filed a charge.
But yes,
that was a hit.
Listen,
I love that duet. Nate even got all teary-eyed too. See?
Nate is so sensitive.
You got to be still enough to appreciate it. That was good.
Nate is so sensitive.
That means he was still enough to appreciate what was actually going on.
And I did.
When you're hustling and bustling and you're not really focused on it.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It really was beautiful. Mm-hmm.
And then our girl, our poet that we learned about.
Amanda, what's her last name? Begins with a G.
Gorman.
Yes.
Amanda Gorman. Mm-hmm. She did a poem talking about the 3 honorary captains. They chose 3 people that were serving their community. One was a military guy. One was a hospital nurse, emergency room nurse, administrator. And she did a wonderful poem and facilitate those 3 people. Amanda Gorman. I'm a big fan of Amanda Gorman. Now, 22-year-old, skinny little girl who's been a poet for a long time, and she's got her game tight.
Absolutely, but she don't hold all the cards in the poetry game because right here on the Empowerment Network on next Saturday, boy, it is going to go down. Poetry night. Expressions of love, hurt, pain, frustration, and romance right here on the Empowerment Network, on the Empowerment Duo page.
Now
when I tell you
7 p.m.
Yes, that is next Saturday at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss it. This is going to be hosted by Sporty King.
Sporty King is a wordsmith. He's been a speaker, author, poet for a long, long time. He happened to have been one of the love poets we did 2 years ago when we had our love and poetry book thing.
Empowerment Showcase.
Empowerment Showcase.
So we are going to...
I am going to ask Sporty and try real hard.
It's a special request.
As a special request. Sporty did this one poem that floored the room full of poets.
Gentlemen, if you want to get some, have your wife sitting in front of the whatever device you're going to watch the show on when Sporty drops that lyric.
The poem is called Have You Any Idea How Fine You Are? Idea how fine you are. He gets into it, ladies. I'm telling you. If you're a lady and he starts talking about how fine you really are, woo! Panties was flying all over the room.
Panties were flying all over the room, all around. There's going to be lots of poetry for everything.
That's another person I want.
So we just can't wait. Yeah, we just can't wait. We can't wait to bring that. Make sure that you clear your calendar. You got to do Valentine's Day in anyway.
Yep.
Go ahead and do it candlelight with the poetry showcase in front of you. And then y'all could already be primed and ready when you turn off the device.
Shouts out to those of you who are still being careful. I really want us all to still be careful. COVID is still here and COVID is still real. We had opportunities to go to we could have chose many different places to go, but we ultimately decided to stay home. We'll go from time to time to different places, but for the most part, we're going to stay home. I know if we went to the Super Bowl, because they said, Dr. Fauci was talking about, if you have to go to a Super Party, try not to yell or scream because that spreads. How are you going to do that?
I don't know.
And you're going to laugh and yell and
take off your mask and all of that business. You got to be careful.
Please do.
You got to be careful. So that was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, man. It was a full weekend. Oh, I did something else Saturday.
On Friday, did you talk about the ladies in the games?
Oh, yeah. So on Friday night, we had a phenomenal time. Melissa, we definitely missed you. You would have had a ball. We actually
wasn't there all that singing?
No, I know. So we played a game called Song Association. And the way that the game is played, I think I have my words right here. The way that the game is played is I would call out these words and everybody would jump in with a song, and you had to actually sing the song. So like September was one of the words.
You remember.
And that's how it works.
September.
Like another word was smile.
I love it. I love your smile.
Another word was driving.
We going driving on a freeway.
That one was good. Another one of the word was milk.
Milk. My milkshake brings on boys in the car, or MCMI. People call me Milk when I'm busting on that party.
Yeah, that would have been good too. Another word is fever.
Give me fever.
Here was the word that stuck everybody was fantasy.
That's not gonna stick anybody. Cool. Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know, I can't sing this song.
You gotta sing it.
Fantasy. You were blind. A
lot of that happened too. A lot of that. And it's a ship fantasize. So that's what threw everybody else off.
Fantasy was
yeah.
But run, DMC.
Money, of course, came up.
Money is the key to end all your woes.
Yeah,
or love of money. People will rob their own brother for the love of money.
Yeah. And we also got money. Yeah. Money. So anyway, that game was fun, and Miss Phyllis actually won in that.
Our Miss Phyllis won.
Yes, Miss Phyllis won. I've got to send out her gift shortly. I'll go out today and send
Mr. Price, how would you have done in that game? Dr. Deborah? Oh, she was there. That game was fun.
It was fun.
Dr. Beverly, how would you have done in that game? Sister Cynthia Murray, how would you have done in that game?
It was a lot of fun.
Sister Trinae Prosser, how would you have done in that game?
Absolutely.
Now, it was for ladies. It was on ladies' night.
It was on ladies' night. However, we talked about leveraging that game as a way to bring people closer together. Now, imagine that you shared this game with someone in your family, with someone that you know that maybe you don't talk to a lot. And then you guys decided that every once in a while you would just call and say a random name, and the person would have to respond with the song. I think that would be a fun conversation starter.
You know, I just remembered that this is the Monday following Super Bowl. This is one of the number one days of the year where people skip work. The Monday after Super Bowl.
You think even now?
Yes. A lot of our people aren't here today. But this is still one of those days people either call in sick or call in or show up late or not even bother.
Why do you think that is?
Parties.
Party last night?
Yeah, Super Bowl parties. Although the parties were muted.
Beverly said all of mine would have been gospel songs. Well, Brittany held you down. So Brittany Thomas was on, and all of her responses were gospel songs as well. And that's okay. She just didn't get as many points as Miss Phyllis. You can come with any genre. We didn't make it genre specific. So it was a lot of fun. I realized, though, I have a lot of songs in my head from my time zone.
Of course you do.
From my growing up. Than anything else.
So do anybody else. Yep. My songs, I still lean back on Rakim and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if I could, if I had to, like, if it was genre specific and I had to do something from the 2000s, I don't think I would be able to.
You probably would be better than you think. Because
so?
You know the songs. Yeah, you just need to be prompted. That's all. But it's 9:32 and we're not going to neglect our greeting songs. No. Even though some of y'all didn't show up on the Monday after Super Bowl, we did. First is our friend, the head usher of Let's Talk About It. Now, for those of you guys who are just joining us, this show is called Let's Talk About It. My name is Brian Keith McNeill, Brian K. McNeill, and that is
Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And together we make up what we call the Empowerment Duo. This show has been going since October of 2016, and we do have a focus. Our focus is personal conversations,
business information,
and spiritual inspiration.
There's a little bit of shenanigans thrown in.
That's what we're here to talk about. And together we also have an expressed ministry. Our express ministry is
economic independence
through
entrepreneurship.
That's it. Economic independence through entrepreneurship. Everything we do centers around that. Economic independence through entrepreneurship. That's what we do. Okay.
Absolutely.
So with that in mind, some people here have been rocking with this show for a long time, like Melissa Price. She's been with this show for years, and she does a great job of ushering people into the show. We call her our head usher, and we like to thank her with her own greeting song or greeting logo. And Melissa Price is going a little something like this. Bow, 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 bow. Melissa's on. Now it's time for us to sing her song. Melissa's on. Now, I never professed to be a great singer, but I am joyful in my opportunity to celebrate Melissa.
Absolutely. And the sisters are doing it on their own. I said the Price sisters are doing it on their own. And I cannot wait to get my candles from the Price sisters' new collection.
Oh, really? They got candles?
Yes, they got candles.
Candle from last week?
I got a candle from my sister wife.
Oh,
it's right there. Yes.
No, it's not the same one that was in the
Yes,
bathroom.
it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, cool.
Yes, I got a candle from Deirdre. She actually made me a beautiful birthday box. And I shout her out. I want to thank her so much. She got me a birthday box, which is the best way to send birthday gifts. Like it could be just little bits of anything. It was almost like receiving a commissary box if you're in college. It had a snack in there. It had a book in there. It had a journal in there. It had a candle in there. Oh, I'm so grateful for my box. I love it.
Very, very thoughtful.
Very, very thoughtful. And a personal note.
And a personal note. And Lisa calls her sister wife. Why do you call her your sister wife, Lisa?
Because she is my husband's previous wife and my son's mother.
Yes, yes. Eli's mama. Brother Eli.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And me and Eli, by the way, of my sons, me and Eli were the ones that was rooting for Tampa Bay.
Melissa said, good morning, hugs from Charlotte and Sophie. Your order is going out after the show. Yay. And I made you some Lessons in Legacy samples too.
That's nice. That's very, very
nice. Thank you. I love it. I love it. Dr. Deborah. Dr. Deborah, healing and deliverance coach.
Mm-hmm. Good morning again, Dr. Deborah. Again, thank you for your willingness to participate, and thank you for being prepared and doing a great job on this past Saturday. Sister Brittany is here. Brittany. What's up, Brittany? How you doing?
That's Brittany Woody. Good morning, Brittany.
And my sister Cynthia Murray. I got that sister with me. Good morning, Cynthia Murray. How you doing?
Good morning, Kelly. You guys.
I don't have it on top of my head, but I'm gonna get it. We had it. It's to the tune of Sam Cooke.
Oh.
Change gonna come. Yes, it is.
Oh, I thought it was to Biggie. I thought it was something else.
Okay, we can do that. Okay.
I don't remember.
Kelly, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your jazzy ways. That's it, Kelly. I love is here to stay.
Okay. Good morning, Adil. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Adil, good morning, sir. Adil took a photo shoot with his son, and it was so cool. Now, the son didn't understand, or maybe he did understand. I don't know what it was, but photo shoots got to be still long enough. And it looked cool as me, but the son wants to jump up and down and move around while Adil is trying to pose. But he posted the pictures.
I'm sure it was very nice. Dr. Beverly's on.
Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. How you doing?
Thank you for joining.
I really, really hope you had a great weekend this past weekend.
He said, I like it. He's good with it. He's good with Biggie.
Okay, cool. Lisa
is good
to mute her phone.
Yes.
Do not disturb during the show.
Yes.
I mean, there's other people who would say stuff about that, but that's not me. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, Saturday morning at 10 a.m., Lisa and I had a chance to be interviewed. And the interviewer wanted us to talk about the challenges. Mostly she wanted to talk about the challenges of working together as a couple, the downsides of it. How do you deal with it? Now, Lisa and I, because it's our way, we flipped those things around and talked about the positives of what makes it work.
That you need.
The things that you need that makes it work.
Right.
So the absence of those things that you need to make it work is where the challenges can come in.
Absolutely, because truthfully, in anything that you are doing, if you're looking for the problems, you will find them.
You find whatever you're looking for.
You will find them. So we don't even play with that. There were some things that I felt like, I know that first of all, I know that tragedy, trauma, controversy, and all of that sells. I get it. We're not oblivious to that. But we have been very, very conscientious and dedicated to focusing on the positive in our lives, in our relationship, even in the problems in our relationships, if you can believe that.
We broke it down into 3 key factors that we thought were important, and everything stems around those.
Yeah.
And the key factors we have, number 1 was communication. Number 2 was transparency. And number 3 was mutual respect for the other one's skills.
Absolutely.
Mutual respect. Yeah.
And if you're gonna not just work together, but be in relationship together, I think those are the 3 critical components. And we talked about that at Coffee Talk with Soy. And you can go to coffeetalkwithsoy.com and catch that episode and check us out there. Go to coffeetalkwithsoy.com and you'll be able to listen to that episode, because we got some good comments at the end. They did get us to talk about stew.
Yes, stewing in stuff.
Not
saying it.
Right.
Getting slighted, feeling upset about something, and not bringing it up, so you get to stew in it.
And that's how you mess up your communication, is when there's no transparency. Understand, transparency and communication go together, because without them, there's going to be, first of all, there's intuition. All of us have intuition. Every one of us has a gut. And if someone keeps saying to you that nothing is wrong and it's contradicting,
how you doing, baby?
Your gut, fine.
I guess she's fine.
You're disarming your partner when you don't give them enough information. And so we talked a little bit about that. And we talked about the fact that sometimes when you're making a stew, and this is for the ladies who are making a stew, right? You over here, I'm not going to tell him nothing. He get on my nerves. He need to know this. He need to know that. You're making this stew, but what you fail to realize is some of the ingredients in your stew,
that was an important
he
point.
Didn't bring to the stew.
You had some
You got some old leftover radishes. He ain't even got no radishes. You got some leftover okra from some previous relationships.
You try to stew and put
and
that stew
in your stew.
Whoa. Those are my vegetables. I didn't do that.
I didn't do that. That wasn't me. That was another commercial that was good in the Super Bowl.
What's that? It wasn't me. With Shaggy.
Ashton Kutcher.
This chick is eating his Doritos or whatever it was.
His
Cheetos.
With the orange fingers.
Fingerprints all over the house. It wasn't me. On her mouth. It wasn't me. That was the funny one.
In the closet, it wasn't me. Adil says, do you respect each other's boundaries even when you think the other's point of view is incorrect, or do you do what's right and correct the other partner?
2 major problems you have in there, Adil. Okay, major problems. They're both communication problems. Number 1 is, if there's going to be an argument, okay, you have to assume, M-U-S-T, assume that both sides are at least partially right, because there'd be no argument if they weren't at least partially right. So going into the debate or going into the disagreement, you have to assume they have some leg to stand on. They're right about something. So with that attitude, it opens you up. Okay, let's find out what's going on. There's 3 problems I have with that. First off, you have to assume the other one's partially right. The second is, of course, you always have to respect the boundaries. There's never a time when you don't get to respect their boundaries. No. You have to always do that. Do you respect their boundaries? Or no, it's no or. Okay, you always have to respect the other person, or you do what's right and correct the other person. Again, wrong assumption. You have to assume they're right. And here's the last thing I would say about that, brother. The classic and most important from 7 Habits of Highly Effective People: seek to understand before being
understood.
Yes. So if the
other person attempting to be understood.
If the other person has an opinion that you believe is wrong, you're much better off if you seek to understand why they have that opinion. seek to understand, okay, how did you get to that place where you believe that to be true? Okay, trying to figure out why they feel that way before you, okay, now I understand how you got to that place. Now I understand why you feel that way. Here's why I feel it's a little different than that, okay?
Yeah, and we have gotten. I know a lot of people think we don't, but we've gotten to some impasses, and we just have to decide what's more important: being right in this particular situation, or respecting one another's right to their own opinion. And I think that that's so critical.
Joaquina, I love Joaquina. She goes, oh man, I need to hear this. I am the queen of stewing. Um, Joaquina, I want to tell you, I am so proud of you and your walk. You, your mom, and your daughter, and your business, just everything you guys do is just beautiful to me. You know, you're doing the very best you can with what you have, Joaquina. Good job, my sister.
We appreciate you showing up with us here today. Beverly says, you two know how to communicate with each other. You two have similarities that bring about building and not tearing down. You two bring your own light and mix well for others to grow. And shenanigans together are hilarious. I thank you for sharing your heart with me.
Yeah, and how did we get to that place? This place, Dr. Beverly,
We worked on it.
We worked on it, but before we got to this place, we made some mistakes.
Yeah, we actually made some mistakes
in our lives, in our previous relationships.
Mm-hmm.
We burned some bridges. We caused some pain. We caused some harm. We had done some things that we had to apologize for. We had some things done to us that was very, very hurtful.
And we had to do some work on ourselves. And I believe that we both were committed to working on ourselves. Dr. Deborah says, I like that view. All parties are at least partially right. Melissa likes that quote, seeks to understand before seeking to be understood. Absolutely. You're very welcome, Joaquina. Melissa says, hey, Joaquina. Hey.
So back to Brother Adil. Do you respect each other's boundaries even when you think the other's point of view is incorrect? Yes, man. Yes. Or do you do what's right and correct the other partner?
That's a loaded statement right there, because that's assuming that you are the only possible right. And see, so one of the things that we like to consistently leverage is one another's strength. So if you're talking about a boundary that impacts a decision that has to be made for the collective, right? So if you're talking about, am I gonna take your advice and we're gonna do it your way, or I'm gonna take my advice and I'm gonna do it the right way? First of all, excuse you. And second of all, how can you find out what pieces of each side may fit together to create a better right solution?
And here's the other thing too, right is a moving target sometimes. What's right might be right today, it may not be right tomorrow. Okay. Tony Robbins has a statement that he makes that kind of heals him and keeps him from putting himself in a position where he's always right. He goes, my current lie. He calls it his current lie. And the reason why he calls it that is he feels like, based upon what he knows up until this point, he believes this thing to be true. Now, if he were to learn something else tomorrow that makes tomorrow's truth more true than what he believes today, then he'll go and adopt that new and better way of thinking or that new and better way of moving. Okay. But for today, up until this moment, this is my current lie that I'm accepting.
Absolutely. Beverly says, there you go. This is finally the relationship episode.
Is that what this is?
She says, quiet is kept. They are all relationship episodes. I think that's probably the way that we like it. If we have to talk about relationships, we would rather have it interwoven into just the feedback as we normally give.
I shouldn't be so surprised, but it is a little bit surprising, Beverly, saying finally the relationship episode.
People have been trying to get us to do the relationship episode. Maybe we really need to break down and do a whole full.
I don't think so.
It will still be based upon relationship and entrepreneurship together.
I'm going to be real transparent, tell a secret in my household. The other night, Lisa and I were watching TV, and I had my arm around her. And we were just watching the show, and she was in the crook of my arm, like this here. I was watching the show. And I don't want to misquote Lisa. Lisa said, I don't think people believe that we actually live like this, or people wouldn't believe we actually live like this or watch TV like this or something like this. Because it was just it was normal for us. That's how we sit and watch TV, but at the same time, it was a beautiful moment. And we want that beautiful moment for you too. We want you to have that too. But I'm not saying it right, whatever you said. But
no, I did say. I said I don't think. I wonder if people really believe that what they see is who we are, because we are often sitting at home on the couch together after a long day's work, and I'm just in the crook of his arm watching something that I'm putting up with because I just want to be next to him. And
watching something that you put up with.
Yes, he doesn't watch none of my shows. He does not watch none of my shows.
No.
So we have come up with some like compromise shows. And it's not that big of a compromise for me because I don't really enjoy it, but I enjoy him enough, if not more so, to really want to spend those moments with him.
Adil, I want to be Adil's big brother, okay? To help my little brother Adil. Adil says, yeah, that makes sense. So I, not wanting to buy sunglasses, wasn't wrong because my wife bought them for me, saying I have no style. Okay. Now,
oh Lord, help the brother out. bless him in a big way, Jesus.
Let me do it this way.
All right.
Okay, your wife bought the sunglasses. She paid for them. Now you have them. You're in possession of them now because she bought them. When you put them on, did they look good on you or not? Okay, because sometimes the things we buck against our wives, particularly comes with our clothing and our adornments, we might buck against, but they end up right.
Okay? Or it doesn't matter.
Or it doesn't freaking matter.
Understand, if your wife finds you more attractive with the sunglasses, then maybe just wear sunglasses sometimes. Because here's the thing. I personally think naked is the sexiest thing there is. Just naked. There's nothing. But when I enter the house, I want to be naked. If I could be naked outside, I would be naked outside.
I don't know.
My husband likes lingerie, and he bought me like 3,700 pieces of lingerie, and I'm like, when am I going to wear this? Because in bed, I don't want to be strangled up with lingerie.
He's supposed to have it on in bed.
I don't want to wear it around the house because I prefer to be naked. But I had to think to myself, well, he bought these pieces because he likes to see them. So that means I need to get conscientious and put them on so that he can see them. Because I am not dressing for me with those little pieces of string and felt. I am dressing for him.
Speaking of which, going back to Adil in the sunglasses, the sweater I'm wearing, I went to the store to buy cheap sweaters, okay? I was going to buy cheap sweaters. I saw an advertisement for these sweaters for this rate. I was like, oh, I can afford that, and I want to buy that. My wife was with me, and she saw the sweaters that I was going to buy, and had she not been with me, I probably would have bought them, okay? They were cheap and flimsy.
And they looked cheap and flimsy.
But they were colorful.
They were colorful like crayon colors.
But they're probably the last 2 washes. Now, the sweater I'm wearing is not cheap, and it's not flimsy. Okay, it costs a lot more, but it's nicer.
And she's gotten a lot of compliments.
Yes.
As a result of it.
They're nicer.
So Adil, where the dad shoot. Good gracious. Beverly says sales and marketing, writing and publishing, teaching and learning, finance and discipline, a relationship. That's not a typo. It's what I said.
Okay. Adil's laughing. Yeah, she's right for sure. Okay. Of course. And Lisa was right too. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Pick your battles.
Pick your battle. That's the other thing about relationship. Pick the battle.
You don't need to have every single debate or fight. Goodness gracious.
Sometimes you just need some peace. And then sometimes I have to decide, you know what? You could be right. And I know he hates it when I say that. But when I finish, I just say, you could be right. And I just walk out.
And I'm like, I am right. What are you doing? Where you going?
You could be
Where you going?
You could be right.
Because I am right.
Yes, you could be right.
I can't believe I would ever go there, but yeah.
You could be right,
Sister Fion, how you doing?
So we hope that you have enjoyed hanging out with us for the weekend recap here on the Empowerment Network with Let's Talk About It on the Empowerment Duo page.
Please put in your the poetry edition is going to be beautiful. The poetry edition showcase we're doing this upcoming Saturday. We're doing it later in the day because there's going to be some adult style poetry and some adult style imagery. So we're doing it at 7 instead of 4 p.m.
That's right.
But it's almost going to be like a date night right at the house.
That's right. Go ahead and if you go, matter of fact, if you go to Myra Foster's page, she's got a great caterer, a vegan caterer that has put together a whole package for your meal and your dessert and everything, and it's beautiful. It's only like $125 for the whole everything for the couple, and you can pick it up on the 13th, and it'll be ready for you on the you can pick it up on or before the 13th, and you'll have it for that evening. Just go to her page and check that out.
One of the things about this virtual world is it's causing us to be creative.
That's for those here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm sorry.
Yes, causing us to be creative. I'm prayerful that you have a comfortable couch, because if you have a comfortable couch, you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere. You can do anything virtually now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to have a special musical selection presentation.
It's going to be beautiful.
Awesome. You're just going to have a great time. Come hang out. No charge. Just come hang out right here on the Empowerment Duo page. And make sure that you stay tuned if you got some more time for Coffee Time with
the
Coach Ja right here at 10 a.m. Following him is One Word Conversations with William Brown, and the word will be revealed on the show. That is at 11 a.m. And I am just excited for Monday. So make sure that you take some time and don't forget to have sex.